Müller-Dietzen is the creative quality printer by the sea. We print, finish, and, for example, mail catalogs, brochures, flyers. Always with a real passion for premium print products. Whether it is an annual report, for example, or brand brochure, our customers get true manufacturing quality from start to finish. Print embellishment, absolutely no problem. Creative workshop, also on board. We're about 50 people. We have 3 shifts. Actually, we're using a Heidelberger printing production line. So we have a Heidelberger printing press. So we use Heidelberger Stahlfolder for folding, for example. And we have the Heidelberger workflow all together in one. It's very nice to work with it. And that's one point we were able to get a high quality for our customers. For our previous finishing setup, we needed real specialists, especially for stitching and for folding equipment. Over time, that became a real challenge. Orders themselves changed a lot. We started to see many more smaller runs in the past. 10,000 brochures or more were quite normal. Today, typically order sizes are between 500 and 10,000. Customers order more cautiously but more frequently. Repeat shops, content changes, smaller quantities. On top of that, we now handle a lot of short-run digital print shops. Order today, deliver tomorrow. Changeovers took too long. Folding setup times increased, and at the same time, the range of materials of paper kept growing. The technical side also became more and more a problem. We had recurring electrical faults with our cell stitcher, error messages for no obvious reason, and the technicians ran out of ideas. That costs a lot of time and nerves, and it puts real pressure on the team. At the same time, experienced specialists retired and people changed careers. Finding qualified replacements on a job market was extremely difficult, and finally we were not successful in our search for new stuff. The combination of smaller and more frequent shops, rising material variety, and a lack of specialized stuff made it clear that we had to rethink our finishing completely. We needed more flexibility, less dependence on folding, and higher efficiency without losing quality. I think we nearly looked at almost every available cell stitcher solution because we knew we had to respond to the new requirements and short runs and mixed work. Then we ran into Senshi. The first time we saw it was immediately clear for me. This is our machine. The towers are arranged in lines with a very familiar logical sheet transport concept, but with the speed and flexibility we're looking for. There are no real speed penalties because the lines work together and the stitching speed can remain constant. Whether we are running over one line or several lines, we are no longer dependent on folding. There is no waiting for material from the folders. We simply cut the sheets and start the production. It sounds simple, and in day-to-day production it really is. Before making the final decision, we did our homework. We ran tests, looked closely at the numbers, and completely re-examined our workflow. The biggest hurdle was actually in people's mind. It can't be faster, the quality will not be as good. Once Senshi was installed, we started moving shops across step by step. At the beginning, people really were skeptical. Many colleagues were convinced that the old way would still be faster and better. Even if the setup took longer, even the fact that Senshi creases every sheet from every line was not seen as a big advantage at first. The real mindset shift started when we compared real jobs. For example, a double up job we needed about 2 hours to set up previously. With a Senshi, the same type of job takes around 10 to 15 minutes to set it up. When we showed this to our internal sales team, their attitude changed and deadlines suddenly became less stressful. We had already begun to adapt our workflow and kept refining it. Today, a single operator can pre-cut sheets, set up the Senshi and run the brochures. The cutting programs are largely standard. Senshi does not really care what paper is loaded in the towers. The towers are very reliable and easy to adjust. If they are running, everything else runs with them.
Today I have a job with 7 sheets in the format A5. It's loaded in both towers of the second line of the machine, and if the first tower runs out of sheets, the second tower will start operating automatically and I can reload the first tower so the machine can operate without stopping. If the first tower runs out of sheets, the second tower will start operating and I can re-upload the first tower. While the job in the second line is still running, I can prepare the next job on the computer for the machine and then just easily send it to the machine when the job in the second line is done.
Thanks to the fast, intuitive operation and ability to store unlimited numbers of jobs, switching is literally a matter of seconds. We have created master programs for almost everything we can think of, so we hardly need to change anything in the real from the jobs. We simply call up a master, scan the sheets, fine-tune the fold, and off we go. Because cutting is always the same process, we no longer need highly specialized staff for it. Anyone can be trained to pre-cut. With the same overall workload, replacing the old line with a Senshi allowed us to have 2 positions that became vacant through retirement and did not have to be rehired. The automation that the Senshi brings combined with the adapted workflow makes job preparation much easier. The team is noticeably happier, actually enjoys working with the Senshi. The technical frustration has basically disappeared. One lens hardly plays a role anymore. If necessary, Senshi can run 24/7. Our old stitching line was dismantled and sold very quickly. The folding machines are now only used for leaflets. We had to increase our cutting capacity by around 30 to 40%. That in return, the folding work has completely disappeared for the saddle stitch. One big advantage is how we handle fast small jobs now. So digital printing is high demand, and A3 Plus digital sheets can straight go into the Senshi. We're already doing that. Often the sheets are still warm when they go into finishing. This allows us to react much faster to customer requests, especially for targeted short-run communications. Overall, the investment gives us a lot of confidence. We know that we can handle both short-run and long-run jobs on one flexible system, and we are well prepared for evolving market demands. If you consider the Senshi, the real strength lies in how much you can automate and simplify your workflow. provided you are willing to adapt that workflow to the machine and really use its capabilities. For us, it has proved to be a very reliable and future-proof solution in the last 2 years. We have hardly needed any technical support. Of course, there are normal wear and tear. But that was all. The reliability and flexibility is exactly what we needed for our current and future business.